Hello, I'm Tori and I love Aurora. So I'm gonna listen to her new album because I've only listened to the singles that were released, watched them with the music videos. I might have even missed one to be completely honest. But anyway, so this album has been out for a while now and I haven't listened to it yet, so I figured why don't I film it? And I even brought my little Elsa from the second movie out because Aurora is her little spirit and she's the only Funko Pop I have. So it's cute and perfect. Do I have anywhere to put her? No, but you will know that she is there in spirit. So that's okay. Also, I will not be taking feedback on my setup at this time. I will also not be taking feedback on my hair at this time. I will also not be taking feedback on this thing at this time. Yes, I did crochet this myself. Yes, it is the first piece of clothing I ever made. I will take, good job, Tori. You really tried. I will not take, please don't wear that out in public. Thank you. So we're gonna get started. Let me get into like an Aurora mind state. You know what? No, she's gonna get me into an Aurora mind state, so it's all good. The first song is Echo of My Shadow. I am just listening on Spotify, but the lyrics are not available. So I'll also be like looking up the lyrics as I'm listening. So if I'm looking down a lot, that's what I'm doing. Okay. Echo of My Shadow. Ooh. Ooh. This is a good title. I'm already ready. Like I'm already in. Let's go.
If I stay here any longer, I will stay here forever. And the echo of my world will fade. Will the edge of my sorrow be gone in the morning? Stay right here, stay in the light, my dear, until the love you crave falls in your arms.
This feels like crawling out of like your depression. The plucking in the background really adds a lot of atmosphere. I like the softness of this one.
I will stay here forever.
This was a beautiful intro. So, Echo of My Shadow, the words themselves, the shadow is like your sadness. Like maybe you were in a state of just like grief or lack of motivation, like burnout or something, depression. But we're coming out until the echo of my shadow is gone. And that's such a beautiful way to put it. And so now we know, like, going into this album, we have left that kind of state, and now we're adventuring into, like, what has come out of that and where are we going from here. Um, and you know what? The part where she was like, wait for your love to come, like, stay in the light, and just wait for the love will just fall into your arms if you stay in the light. Like, take care of yourself, kind of, is how I'm taking that. As, like, if you water yourself, the world will also water you. Something like that. You know, and I loved, like, she does have really like powerful vocals in some of her songs, but this one was very much softer. Loved that. Let's move on to the next one. Heyo, it's me editing, and I just wanted to apologize for the sound quality of the actual songs themselves. I want you to know I heard it in amazing quality. Unfortunately, this microphone was super duper cheap and it's not made for music, so um yeah, real sorry about that. I'm gonna cut most of the bad quality out, just know like I listened to the full song, Dur McDur, but yeah, if there's parts where I'm like bopping and dancing and you can't hear the song, blame this guy. Yeah. And the next one is called To Be Alright. We've already heard it. The beat is amazing. Like, yes, picking it up at the second song. Like, find the joy in life. Because why else would we be alive? This is my favorite part. If you don't believe anything, night after night, oh, I long to be alright. Do you feel it? How do people talk about it? How do you find it so easy? When I can't ask that, whatever you feel alright. What a celebration! Love! Celebration of life. She's also, this is the first song we're hearing like a deeper tone from Aurora. And I feel like this might start to be a thing. Like maybe it was just her voice maturing. Maybe it was like a new vocal style that she's trying. But she still sounds like herself. Like this is so clearly Aurora. The melody lines in this one are amazing. There's so many different like think of the word, Tori. Like sections, musical motifs and sections in it that all flow together so beautifully. And this is a certified banger. This one I really like. I think it's really well done. I think using her vocal changes, like the deeper tone, also like going into like the celebration part, which is classic Aurora, like la 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 la, skibidi doo bop bop. Um, I mean, it's perfect for this song. And this is amazing because you can feel the growth from the past albums. Like this, some of her songs, right? The melody is like a through line. There might not be that many like repeating parts. The one I'm thinking of is like Soulless Creatures. Um, like it's not the catchiest of songs because there aren't many like catchy melody motifs. And I love that song. But you can tell that she's like with these boppity bops, she definitely leans into like I don't want to say like poppier, but the reason it would be poppier is because it's like catchier, you know? But in an Aurora way, where it's sophisticated, where she's giving strong messaging, like usual. She's giving poetry. She's giving through storyline. She's giving talented vocals. She's giving strong production. Yeah, I like this one. I like this one a lot. Great. Which, you know what? When I was listening to her last album release, which which one was that? Which one was that? It was one of the red covers. They all have red covers. Gods, the gods we can touch or can't touch. The can touch? Anyway, some of the ones on there I was like, I see you're exploring more production based, not based, but like more experimental production things or just like more full production behind the vocals, which is really cool. Did I love all of them? I'm gonna be so honest with you. No. So I think so far on this album, like this song gives me hope because she is continuing with like the full production, but she's mixing it with her vocals. Like she's creating more synergy, I think, between the two. At least that's like how I felt with this one. So I'm excited for the rest of the album and to see like that growth. The next one is Your Blood, which is my favorite of the singles that I listen to, so I might be biased.
Your blood, what matter is it made of? Do you feel it travel in and out your heart?
The visuals for that, you really like feel it, you think about it.
The big holes you prepared for battle.
It's starting off so soft and beautiful, like leading us into it.
Are you done? Drowning in the rain.
I didn't read the lyrics for this when I listened to it before, and I love the lyrics.
I refuse to die.
Break it down. See, like the production is adding instead of taking away. Like it's creating the chaos of the world, but like Aurora's being over here like, you are dust. Like remember that. Like it's so simple. In the chaos of the world, it's really that simple. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So as I was saying, I did not look at the lyrics when I was listening to it this before, but I feel like this is an expansion on the themes from Echo of My Shadow, because it's like, look, if you're burnt out, right, just remember you are really like, because I feel like that's what helps Aurora when she's burnt out, remembering how like large the world is and how small and like insignificant you are. So like who cares what you do? You could do whatever the fuck you want because you are small and insignificant in this whole big world. Like what you do does not matter because we're all going to die, we're all going to return to dust. And like whatever you do, the mistakes that you made, the impacts on the world that you made, it won't matter. When the world goes up in flames, it will not matter. So like do what you want, do what you love, live your life the way you want because who cares? And you know what? I find that like that mentality kind of helps me as well. Like, oh, sometimes if I get down, I'm like, oh, like I'm not doing enough, like this. I'm not like succeeding enough. It's like, what really is success when we're all gonna die? Like, just be happy, you know? Just like do things that you want to do in the moment. And that's hard to remember. So Aurora is here reminding you that. Mm-hmm. And I love like the blood, like your blood. Like, what is it made of? And I do wonder, like, is that the reason she's saying like what is it made of? Is that supposed to be also like think we're all just like bodies of flesh and blood? Like my blood's made of the same stuff that your blood's made of. Maybe it's like that. And then can you feel it travel in and out your heart? Like you're already working so hard just to stay alive. It's kind of how I feel at like ground yourself back in your body for a second and like don't think about all the pressures of the outside world. Like don't think about this. Like really ground yourself in your body, feel your blood like moving, working so hard. Like your body does so much for you. Be proud of that and make it happy. Treat it with respect, kind of, is what I'm getting from this. I love all of Aurora's vibes, and I love going through her lyrics and kind of finding your own interpretations. So that's why I'm like spitballing, like, oh, could it mean this? Blah, 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 blah. And if you disagree with me, like, that's fine. Pop in like what these songs mean for you. If you're even watching this, I dare you. The next song is The Conflict of the Mind. Here we go. I think the vocal effect it's different, but I like it for this song. I think it's effective. And it also doesn't feel like too much. It feels kind of like spacey. It feels a little like outside. And then we open up those vocals for the chorus. I really want to talk about these lyrics, and I'm going to read them for you. So I feel like the vocal effect on the verses, it really, it's impactful because when it opens up in the chorus, it's like symbolizing like when you're crying, like you're opening up, like your vulnerability. And I feel like crying here doesn't have to be like crying. It's more of like a metaphor for like vulnerability, right? Showing how you truly feel and like allowing that out and allowing like yourself to be seen in like a vulnerable, open way. But I love because then her lyrics like when you open up the gates for me and leave the world behind. That's kind of like the opening of her vocals in the chorus, the opening of like crying, of like letting your soul out. I love in verse 2 when she goes, I remember how I'd find you, fingers tearing through the ground. Were you digging something up, or did you bury something down? In your soul I found a thirst with only salt inside your cup. In your eyes I saw a longing, while I longed to fill you up. So the fact that she made these lyrics so universal, like this longing feeling, this feeling of wanting something, and in the search for it, only finding yourself with more wanting. The image of like your fingers were tearing through the ground. Were you trying to look for something, or were you trying to hide something away? Like that action is just so visceral. And I feel like the reason I said I love that these lyrics are universal is because this is like a story, but it's not a specific story. It's kind of like a folk tale where like her writing is kind of like a folk tale where the lyrics are such beautiful images, but they're kind of based in like, how am I trying to say this? Based in feeling rather than like things that can happen in reality, right? Because that feeling of longing, like you're not physically digging in the ground for something. You're not physically drinking salt water because you're thirsty and now like you're more thirsty. But those metaphors are what get you to that feeling when you're listening to the song. So like you can, as a listener, input that like those metaphors onto whatever you want. And that's just clever writing to me because it's not too specific where it's like, oh, I can't really relate to this, or like, oh, like, never been there. Well, you know what the feeling is like now because Aurora told you what the feeling is like. So I think she does a great job at describing feelings rather than describing situations. And in doing so, like, her style is very, like, ethereal and um beautiful because she's describing, like, human emotions in a very non-human way. I'm not gonna say non-human way, but, like, non-reality. You know what? Yeah, look, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna stop talking. I like Conflict of the Mind. I think it's beautiful. And I think it is a great addition to this album where it's like, look, we have some bops in here because we're in a good place, like stay in the light. And I feel like this one is like, you can still be in the light from To Be Alright. That's where I'm grabbing the light from, right? Because the shadow was our sadness in the first one. And then the light in the second one, To Be Alright, is like this place where you're like accepting of your feeling, like you're having fun, you're allowing yourself to do what you want and get what you want. And I feel like Aurora in Conflict of the Mind is like, just because you are taking care of yourself and in the light doesn't mean you cannot be sad. You know, like that's different from the shadow that we talked about earlier. Like you can be sad, you can be vulnerable, you can open up about like different things. Like you can want more and maybe it's hard to get there. Like you can still be in this like light place, right? Or taking care of ourselves, self-love, a healthy body and still be sad. Like that's fine. There's a difference between that and the shadow place. Love. And I love that she allows like a space for that on this album because that's important too. Okay, next song, Some Type of Skin. So when I first heard this single on the music video, I was like, oh, this is last song on the album vibes. So I was surprised to see all the singles next to each other because this is the last single, right? Yeah, this is the last single, and all the singles are literally in the beginning of the album. So that's an interesting choice, popping them next to each other because they are all very different. When I was listening to all the singles, I was like, they feel like they would be spread out in this album. So the story of this album, I feel like, is less of like an overarching narrative. It's more like, here's this emotion, here's this emotion. So like first we got like coming out of like our depression, we're leaving it behind. To Be Alright is like, yeah, I just left that behind, okay? So I'm just gonna do what I want. Like hopefully I feel some semblance of like something. And I will. And then Your Blood is like, maybe I pushed a little too far out of my depression. Like maybe I went a little too fast and maybe I burnt out. But you know what? After the burnout comes the rainbow, is what Aurora said. So, verbatim. Conflict of the Mind was like, here's to avoid your second burnout. Allow yourself. Allow yourself that sadness also. Allow yourself to process things, allow yourself to let things out, and then maybe take things at your own pace and you won't burn out again, girly squirrel. And then Some Type of Skin. I haven't listened to a lot of these singles in a while, so this really is more of a reaction. Like, don't think that I know this song super well. We're gonna listen to it.
Or if it's covered in blood. However,
Oh, a fist covered in blood. That's such violent imagery.
it's only temporary. I should build some type of skin.
Oh no, we're building our skin ourselves. I love the things I know might disappear. We're kind of taking back from Forgotten Love, that song off of, you know, one of the albums.
where everybody runs.
I'll crawl where everybody runs, going at our own pace. Yeah.
Good people, and we deserve peace. It's difficult, it seems.
So I never knew she was saying, my God, it's a lot. I didn't know what she was saying. But I love that exclamation. Like, it's a lot. Because the way that, like, the whole sound of the song just opens up at that part also, it really allows you to, like, take in whatever you're feeling. Take in whatever, like, this song evokes in you. And, I mean, it is a lot. Life is a lot. Life is a lot. And I feel like that's... I feel like that might have been her inspiration for the song. Like, life is a lot. It's overwhelming, but it's also beautiful and enchanting. We're good people and we both deserve peace. I feel like with that line, what I'm getting is like respect. Like respect the people around you, respect the other people in this journey of life on this very same earth that we are all living on. It's difficult, it seems, is like next, what she says. And I mean, touching on like all the bad things. Like, yeah, we all deserve peace, like respect everybody. Why is that so hard to do for a lot of people? Um So building some type of skin. I've got to build some type of skin. Is that like you need thick skin, right, to go through life? Because people are gonna like give you like criticism. People are disrespectful. People are rude, judgmental. Yeah, I feel like I'm onto something here, right? We're good people and we both deserve peace. Give everybody respect. And then in the chorus, I've got to build some type of skin, acknowledging that it's harder than that, right? Like it's not that simple. Oh my God, it's a lot. Oh, I feel like this is clicking in my head and there's no way I'm gonna put this out into like words. But I feel like as you grow up and you learn more things about the world, you learn like what politicians are doing. You learn you go through among your peers and as you go into your careers and you're interacting with different people and you go through your trials and tribulations, you are building your skin just as you go through life and it gets thicker and thicker and maybe there is space for vulnerability, but I feel like that's not this song. That was the last song. This song, we're like building our thick skin. We're getting ourselves through this life. And it's not the time to be vulnerable and allowing ourselves to open up. It's our time to like be comfortable in our own skin and kind of let outside stuff like bounce off of it, or having the strength to like fight things that you want to fight for, because there's so much in this world. Like, my God, it's a lot. So kind of like finding your place in it. I feel like maybe that's what this song is going for. I am happy with that analysis. Yeah, I'm happy with that one. So the next song I have not heard before, and it's called The Essence.
Just like we make
The vocals in the back of verse 2 really add like emotion and feeling. I love that.
to be near you. Through the waves of time, can lie in the arms of
I love the build up in the chorus, just going up until it hurts so much.
to be in touch with the essence of us.
This is such an interesting song for Aurora because I feel like a lot of her songs. Sorry, I gotta sneeze. A lot of her songs talk about being in touch with your core, with who you are, with your essence. And so this song, I think, is great for the fact of like, that can be hard. Like, acknowledging that it is hard, especially all the time, especially in times of just like when certain emotions are feeling overwhelming. Like, it's not easy, right, to feel 100% yourself all the time. So I love that she's acknowledging that because it's like playing devil's advocate, right? It allows her message of like, be grounded, be in your own skin, to hit harder because she's acknowledging this other side of the coin. Is it my favorite song? No. But a lot of Aurora's songs, especially if they're slow like this, they're growers for me. So, yeah, I think this is a really important song to have on the album. So, moving on.
First, you made for me a river, so I
I wonder who she's talking to. Like, you gave me water, you gave me a river, you gave me garden. These are both past songs of hers.
could you give to me?
So she could be talking about like a physical lover. She says, I'll be a perfect lover, but that could be a metaphor. Okay, I think she's talking to like a higher power of some sort because she says you always envied mortals. So I don't think this is a physical lover. I think this is a higher power. This song was beautiful. Thoroughly enjoyed. I really liked this one. Yeah, so she's talking to like a god, right? Can you stay with me? Interesting. So lonely, can you stay with me? So it's a lot of like asking of a higher power. For for an afterlife? Oh, interesting. Interesting. So on the surface, the song is obviously like, hey, God, we're all gonna die. Are you gonna be lonely when we're all dead? Like, you're jealous of us because we can die and leave. And everything is more beautiful because it is temporary. That's a common theme among some Aurora songs. Everything is beautiful because it is temporary. But then I'm wondering like what the deeper meaning is, because maybe it again is what I just said. Like, maybe that's the theme of the song. Love everything more because it is temporary. But she's throwing that meaning at you through this conversation with a god. Like, oh, you'll be lonely because you don't die and we will all leave you. That's interesting. That's interesting. Because that's kind of a stretch in messaging. If my brain just came up with that, then I'm proud of my brain. But that's what it means to me. I really can't think of anything else. But that's also our first listen, so I really liked this song though. It was beautiful. Yeah. Next is The Dark Dresses Lightly. Ooh.
As I pour out my story my dear, will be strong. And the dark dresses lightly, razor sharp as it cuts right through my soul. Here's to us now, my dear, it took two. Guess I shouldn't have kept the knife in my heart for so long. Guess I shouldn't have held back when I needed you to know. Guess I shouldn't have kept the knife in my heart for so long. Guess I shouldn't have held back when I needed you to know. I just want to. So we're going back to like everything's gonna die and it's fine to be sad about that also. I love her acknowledging like the other side of these feelings. There's so much you still don't confess. Now we're here. Let our glasses overflow. This is epic. I hear you in the back there, Aurora. I hear you. Guess I shouldn't have held back when I needed you to know. Guess I shouldn't have kept the knife in my heart for so long. Guess I shouldn't have held back when I needed you to know. I just want to So I do want to acknowledge that a lot of these songs you can find like multiple meanings from them, but I already know what I think this one means for me. Yeah, this is amazing. Speak your truth, girl. Oh yeah. Was this my favorite song off the album? Is this my favorite so far? Is this my favorite so far? Real question. Full stop. Yeah. It's so epic. Okay. What do I think it means? So, the dark dresses lightly. So, when I first heard that, I was like, oh, the dark is like an outside force. Like, I wonder, is she going to be betrayed? There was like knife in the chest. I was like, oh, betrayal? That looked nice. No, that's not what it is. Read the lyrics, y'all. This is what I think it is. The dark inside you, right? Whenever you're feeling emotions that you're like, oh, these are too dark. Like, when I'm around other people, I'm just going to be happy. Like, people are gonna like me if I'm happy. People are gonna like me if I'm like in a positive mood. Like, I'm not gonna show you that I'm going through a tough time right now. Like, I'm not gonna show you that I'm like feeling this certain way about yada yada yada. Like, that's your dark that you are dressing lightly outwards. Bam. And she's like, again, time is short and we're all gonna die. Why are you wasting your time pushing down your feelings to appease other people? Right? She's like, oh, I guess I should have let that out. And then like the end where she's like, louder, 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 like, yeah, let it out, girly squirrel. Cause life's too short to be pulling this bullshit. Life's too short to be like, oh yeah, like everything's fine. No, it's not. No, it's not, and we're all gonna die, so like let me know. You know? Cause like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Right? You're going through a tough time, you're letting the people around you know you're going through a tough time. What's the worst that's gonna happen? And if it's like, oh, the people like don't talk to you anymore, like then why were you talking to those people? For real, for real. Anyway, I really like that one, and that's my favorite off the album. So now we have a level to beat. Okay, now we have something to top. So let's see if it happens. The next song is A Soul with No King.
girl. This place in her voice is sending me. I hear you, girl. I hear you in the back, girl. Don't worry. That burn? Ooh, that was crunchy. I loved her saying that. A fiddle? A little violin? Maybe not. This is beautiful. This is, the sound is like epic folk song, and I don't think I've heard a folk song quite as epic sounding. Very like cinematic also. Like this could be an Outlander. So I love listening to folk songs, and so I really liked the sound of this one. Its meaning, I'm gonna be so for real. I think Aurora had something in her mind that she created this song like in the perspective of. And I'm gonna be so real. I don't know what it is. So I'm gonna give you my interpretation. I think she's talking to someone like a soul with no king. Like, I think she's talking to someone who like is very independent, and maybe she has been trying to reach out and offer help, and she's like seeing this person like try to do everything on their own and maybe struggling with that, and she's like, it's okay to reach out for help sometimes. Like, I'm here. Or you like, the point of humanity is like we all support each other and build each other up. Like, it's okay to lean on the people around you, which I love, because not a lot of people do that because it's hard to trust people. It's better to just do everything yourself. So I feel like that's what I got from this song. But I think Aurora probably like had, I really think like this song is in the perspective of something, and I'm just like not getting that something. So that's probably not what the song is supposed to be, but that's what I got from it. So let's move on. The next song is Dreams. Taking us down from that last song into this like new calm place.
Needed so much, with nothing to touch, floating from earth. Everything's more quiet than here in my dream.
Gorgeous.
Everything I feel.
I love the melody of the chorus. The arpeggiated like plucking of the guitar in the background just keeps this song moving, and I really appreciate that.
And repeat them like you own them, like the arrow.
I really loved this song. This song was beautiful. Do I know what it means? I don't know. There was that one verse about like how Aurora explored having no religion, maybe like not believing in a higher power, and how it felt a little like disorienting and aimless, she says. But I feel like mostly like dreams, right? Kind of imagining a world with no problems. It's kind of what I'm thinking this song is like. Kind of when you disassociate, like you're staying in your own bubble, maybe you're like, I don't know. Kind of what I'm thinking is like when I'm reading, right? You're taken into this like new world, and especially if you're reading like a fluffy little like easy book, that world literally like has no problems. Like the problems are, oh, what should I eat for breakfast today? And then you're kind of like, you're disassociating from the reality, you're like escaping in something else. And that's like what this song gave me. Like sometimes the world is a lot to think about. So I'm gonna go in my dreams and like, yes, I know that I'm gonna have to go back eventually, but like it's quiet here and I like it here instead. And you know, I can relate to that, so that's probably why my brain went there with this one. But then the whole song like just sounds like it transports you into a whole new world low key. Like you're the whole time of the song you're just like, yeah, I'm here now. I'm with you, girl. Like take me there. And then it's so peaceful. But then the song ends and it's like, oh, we're back. Okay. So I really liked that one. My interpretation is probably different than yours, but that's like what I got out of that one. So the next one is My Name. My name was hidden somewhere in the back of my brain. I didn't know before my head. I was a part of you. It's giving reincarnation. Like the mission I had before I was reversed, long before I was a part of Earth. What were you before, girl? I wonder. An innocent way to teach your dying self. You eventually will be eaten by yourself. Nobody asks for the help. You eventually will be eaten by yourself. So I am scared Interesting. I'll be so real with you. I don't know what that's about. I don't know. I think it's like I mean like I'm just getting like as she's saying individual lines, I'm like, yeah. Do I know the overarching thing? Like no. But I really loved the sound of that one because it was boppy but still atmospheric and also kind of eerie. And like that's what I want from my Aurora songs. So, love. Is it gonna top the Dark Dressed Lightly? Hell no. But it's good. And I like it. And it's up there. So I just don't have an interpretation for the lyrics. But I love the lyrics. Like that's not to say I don't love them. I love them. I'm just gonna need a little deep dive moment. So the next song, Do You Feel? Okay, going back to the dark tone of the voice. These like shiny chords I was not expecting. This was probably the most pop Aurora has ever been. Because the lyrics were very straightforward. Like, don't let bad experiences let you give up on the feeling of love, right? Like, don't let people dissuade your trust in other people. Okay. Like, cute sentiment. Cute. It's a cute song. Like, I'll listen to it. It's a bop. Is it one of my favorites? No. Just because it's like, yeah, you created a bop. Good for you. I love that for you. I mean, it's fine on the album. Cause like it gives you like more upbeat again, which is nice. And also it continues like the end of the last song kind of faded out with like a don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. I forget what it was saying, like don't give up on, but it was something like that. So then this one is continuing that don't give up vibes, which fits along with like the themes of the album because we're like don't give up on yourself kind of is like the theme. Like keep pushing through this life. Moving forward. Anyway, it's like hot in here, so I'm like sweating, and I don't have a water bottle with me, so if I'm starting to go a little crazy, like that would be why. So next song, Starvation. Oh, full transparency, I have kind of listened to this song, and a lot of people love like the breakdown part, and I'm gonna be so real. I'm gonna listen to it again. I'm gonna listen to it again before I say anything. Let's go. Starvation. I miss the touch of human hands on my skin. This beat with these vocals is so crazy. Like, you would never think. Do I need to be torn just to see who will care? I sleep on the floor, dreaming my life away. Why do we have to die for us to see the light? And we hunger for love. Why do we touch the night? We long to be alive. And we hunger for love. The sun is starving. Come on over, take a bite of the last apple here on earth. We have to die for us to see the light. And we hunger for love. The sun is starving. Why do we touch the night? We long to be alive. And we hunger for love. We are decorated bones. What a line. I think that's the best line from this song. From this album, maybe. We are decorated bones. Think about that. Okay, girl. This chorus is the best part of the song. Is honestly top tier chorus, and I love it so much it gets stuck in my head. Like I love it. So I'll listen to this song for this chorus, right? And the rest of the song, I'm gonna be so real, it's not my favorite. I think the spoken word part, once it gets a little closer to the end of it, it starts getting a little messy, and I just start kind of losing the vibe a little. Like she loses me. And for verse 2, like talking about like the internet, like I'm here for the themes, right? Will the virtual mind become stronger than mine? When the web crashes down, will my life be better? Like, yes, girl, like talk about the impacts of the internet, and like it's gone too far. Like it's doing more. No, it's not doing more harm than good, because it's still like informing people, and information is super important. But like when and also, but I mean, it's the internet and it's crazy and it's like out of control. But anyway, yes, speak about it. I don't think, like, if you're gonna speak about like the internet and like the scariness of the future with that, I don't know. It just kind of feels like 2 throwaway lines in verse 2, which is fine. But it doesn't really have the effect that I think she wants. Or it didn't for me, right? My soul is starving, I think, is a beautiful line. Like, especially mixed with the internet stuff, right? Like, you're getting fed so much content from the internet and so much information. So why is my soul starving? Like, I feel like that is an interesting thing to throw in the song and think about. I will say a lot of people were like, Starvation's my favorite song on the album. Starvation's my favorite song on the album. That's why I listened to this song before I listened to the rest of the album, because I was like, oh, I want to hear this song, because I wasn't going to do this video. So I listened to it and I was like, oh, it's not my favorite. It's still good and I still like it and enjoy it. But it might actually be my least favorite off the album. So that's a hot take for ya. And maybe I'm just saying this. Maybe I'm lying and I'm saying this for drama. Drama, mama, a big drama, mama. Sorry, anyway. This isn't a K-pop video, Tori. Calm down. Next song is The Blade. The Blade. Yeah. This is a lovely energy. I love when Aurora becomes a warrior. Like, who are we striking down with this blade? This is amazing. I was not expecting those vocals. Right under her pillow and the clothes won't give me it anymore. Paralyzed in denial, ever changing. Will she be the same? See a shame on the wall, on the cross in the night. Nobody remembers when she cries, got skies on the floor. This is giving Apple Tree, like, I think the other one, Starvation, tried to do Apple Tree justice. This one actually does Apple Tree justice. Yeah. Ooh. She got sharp blades. Watch out. Ooh. I love this one. This song. First of all, I was barely even looking at the lyrics because I was having too good of a time listening to it. But I feel like it's a build off of some type of skin where, like, you gotta build your thick skin to get through life, girl. But you kind of build it naturally, just like going through life. But I feel like this one is like, look, I gotta protect myself. And vulnerability is beautiful, and like seeing the beauty in things is beautiful. But if I'm gonna go through and survive, I need my blades with me. I need my thick skin, and I need my warrior stature, and I need the mindset of kill or be killed. No, this is what I loved. This one I thoroughly enjoyed. And what I was saying before, like, it sounds like it's giving Apple Tree, like, because the verses along with the instrumental, and I feel like those, like, more speaky verses, like wordy and speaky, like it's gotta flow. Aurora's flowing. And I feel like where it fell flat in Starvation, it's now amazing. And so it reminded me of Apple Tree when she did a similar thing, and it was also amazing. And I'm happy with that one. I like that one. Thoroughly enjoyed. Next. My Body Is Not Mine. Whose is it then? I can remember the first time I felt my mind turning into a beast of an evil kind. If the night kicks in, it's time I build my walls so safe to hide. And the people I love are left behind. They see too much when I look in my eyes. Feel no pain and I never cry. I bleed no blood and I never die. My body's not mine, body's not mine, Is that a saxophone? It's something and I love it. Oh, I need no body. I need no body? Is that a double? Are we creating bars, Aurora? So, when you need my heart, you cry, you need my body. It's separated on Genius as you cry and then you need my body, but I think it's connected. Like, you cry, you need my body. But what you really mean is you need my heart. Because that's who I actually am. Like, I'm not my body. Is that like what this is? This song kind of reminds me of that thing where it's like, when you speak to yourself in your head, are you like, or like when you're alone, are you like, okay, like, speaking to yourself, I'm gonna cook the egg now, like, I'm gonna, like, da 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 da, like, I'm gonna make myself coffee. Or are you like, oh, okay, we're gonna cook the egg, we're gonna make coffee for myself. Like, is it a we or is it an I? Because if you use I, you see yourself as like one person, and if you use we, you feel a separation between like your mind and who you are and your body. Um, so it's like you're the vessel in your body, and like we're gonna do this thing. We're two separate entities. Is like what I thought when I was going through this song. And then the last little outro, though, is kind of giving me like, my body is not who I am. You know, like you have to get to know me. It's kind of like when you see somebody, and I mean, we all make like implicit judgments, right? We're all like, as soon as we see somebody, we get like a feeling, we get a vibe. We're like, okay, this person seems nice. This person seems um like, you can look at a picture of somebody and be like, he probably uh is a sporty person, or like, oh, they probably are kind of rude, right? Like if they have an RBF or something, but it's like, instead of those types of judgments, how about you get to know actually who I am on the inside, because I'm not my body? Is it like that type of thing? Maybe. Anyway, I really like the song. This one's a good one. This one's like a certified banger. if I had to say so myself. This one might be the boppiest one, just because some of the other boppy ones that I really, really liked were very epic. This one felt less epic. This one felt more just like a good time. Like I was having a really good time. Like, yeah, I liked this one. Anyway, next. Wait, did I stop it like before the end? There's still a whole nother minute. What's the saying? I cannot believe there was a whole other minute on this song. Genius did not have the lyrics for that outro, so I have no idea what she's yelling, but there is feeling there. And honestly, is this song my second favorite? Maybe. Next, Invisible Wounds. As I'm lying in my bed, barely existing. We're in our shadow right now. And I knew isn't always good enough. It hurts to know I hurt you. Like I know it hurts for you to know you've hurt me. And now my blood is yours. I can't heal you. I feel like this is one of those songs where you really can interpret this however you need to interpret this for yourself. Because each line can mean something different for you and like hit you where it hurts. So like I might take the invisible wounds that our homes gave us in a certain way, where other people might take it in a different way, like that affects them more, you know? Um, and all of that. I think this song is beautiful, and I think it's so important that this is the last song on the album, because the first song was Echo of Our Shadow. We were getting out of that dark place that we were in, and now we're back in it. And though we're like telling people about it though, because we learned our lesson from, what was it, A Soul with No King? Like we learned to ask for help or just like let people know, hey, I'm going through this thing. I need you to not need me. I need me to not need you because I need to like heal through this, or like just feel it and do what I need to do because I'm not in a space to be needed at this moment. And I mean, it is a cycle. So I love that this is at the end, is what I was getting at earlier. And I kind of went on a tangent. This is at the end because, yes, we got out of this dark place and like we had some optimism. We like learned our lessons. We learned to ask for help. We learned to feel vulnerability. Like we learned to toughen our skin. We learned to see the beauty in everything temporary. Like we also learned to grieve things that are temporary, like healthily. But at the end of the day, it's human to have moments of weakness where you're gonna have to go back into like isolation and take care of yourself because you just can't deal with, my god, it's a lot. Throwback, remember that one? My god, it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. And maybe we're hiding back in our hole now. But it's a cycle. So we'll get out, back to Echo of My Shadow. We'll get out, and maybe we'll go through this all again. So yeah, I really like this album. Hot take, my least favorite is Starvation, which is so funny because everyone was like, that's my favorite one. Well, different strokes for different folks. Am I right? My favorite, can you guess? It's a big surprise. My favorite is The Dark Dresses Lightly. I also really love Your Blood because that's my favorite of the singles. I also really loved Dreams because that took me into like this whole new atmosphere and it was beautiful. Love The Blade. What was the one? Yeah, The Blade. That was the one that I was thinking of. So loved The Blade. Loved My Body Is Not Mine. And yeah, Move My Body Is Not Mine up higher. Loved that one. Okay. So that is What Happened to the Heart by Aurora. So proud of Aurora because you can like see her growth. You can see she's like expanding into different things. You can see, she's whenever she explores different feelings, a lot of the time it can have like repeated themes from past songs, but because I am also like my interests kind of align with like her interests, I feel like I'm often thinking about emotions in similar ways. So I feel like the repeated themes told through different songs, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan because so far she does it in such a beautiful way that it's not overkill. For example, like what I mentioned earlier in Forgotten Love, like things are beautiful because they are temporary and everything will die and everything will be gone one day. That's why we should treasure everything. Like that's what makes things beautiful. Like just because your relationship is going now, like that relationship was beautiful because it happened. But then also through this album, she explores it as well. Like it's okay to grieve those things that are gone now. And then in what was the one? Earthly Delights, maybe? It was also similar theme, like, hey, the God, if there is one, it doesn't leave, but witnesses everything around them being temporary. So I wonder how lonely that feels, but also they see the beauty in the temporary that way. So yeah, I love that about Aurora. Love Aurora. Excited for. I also heard she's making like a post-humanist album. So I think that's really beautiful. Obviously, I really hope we don't get that album anytime soon. I also hope I'm still alive for this album because I want to hear it. But honestly, that's a beautiful way to like make your art live on. And it's so Aurora. Am I right? It's so Aurora to proactively create a post-humanist album like for that purpose. If you don't know what that means, it'll be an album that comes out after Aurora has passed away. So, yeah. And she like purposely has created songs throughout her career so far, so you can like hear the difference in her voice, you can like hear the growth in her styles. That's honestly such an amazing idea, and I love that she's doing that. Like, even if I never hear that album, I'm just happy to know that like she's doing that. And I feel like that's such a fun thing for artists to do if that like fits in their artistry, and like that fits with Aurora's artistry perfectly. So anyway, this is a long video, so I'm gonna peace. What'd you think about the album, Elsa? Oh my god, it was so good. Yeah, I agree. Anyway, bye.